Hello and welcome to Motivate America and our special Bullying in America. What is it and why does it happen? Dr. Abraham Maslow was a behavioral psychologist during the 60s and 70s that created one of the foundational studies on human behavior and motivation. His hierarchy of needs provided an understanding of what motivates people. As you can see below, Dr. Maslow's traditional hierarchy of needs is typically seen as a triangle. You can see each of the stages or levels of development as he labeled them: physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem, and his coined phrase of self-actualization. However, as you can see, Dr. Maslow's hierarchy is referred to as a pyramid, and yet there's a question as to what's measured on each of the other sides of this triangle. Whereas in You, Who Are You, Kevin McCrudden introduces his 21st century multidimensional hierarchy of needs, where there are clearly multiple sides to the pyramid, and there are different things that are being measured on each side. So you can, in one aspect of your life, be self-actualized and be the very best that you can be, while in other aspects of your life, be at other levels of, whether it be physiological, safety, love, or esteem, in those levels of development. The human desire to fit in is an ongoing process that's played out many times in our lives, from childhood all the way through adulthood. Unfortunately, as young adults, there's a significant challenge associated with fitting in and being a part of the pack. It's also one of the first times that young adults are on their own without the influence of their parents. The various stages of need must be met before you can move up to the next level, according to Dr. Maslow's theory. Therefore, understanding that you can meet the needs of physiological need of breathing and food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, and excretion, once those needs are met, then a person or a human being can go to the next level looking for safety. Safety being a fundamental human need. Therefore, looking for security in body, employment, resources, morality, family, health, property. These are areas that once a person feels safe, they can move on to feeling loved or feel a sense of belonging. And this is where it's critical when we begin to speak about bullying. In You, Who Are You by Kevin McCrudden, one of the applications of his multidimensional hierarchy of needs is addressing the national debate of bullying. Following Dr. Maslow's original work and direction on satisfying fundamental human needs, it's critical for human beings to have a sense of belonging in order to develop a sense of esteem. As pack animals, which we typically forget, we have a natural need to fit in somewhere, especially with young adults. Bullying occurs as an altercation to either obtain acceptance into the pack or being rejected by the pack. So once again, if you have someone who is insecure and uncertain and is trying to become a member of the pack or the clique, and they feel threatened, or they feel that their safety within that group is going to be threatened because another person is going to join and maybe somehow push them out, what ends up happening is they end up pushing back, bullying, antagonizing, so that somehow within the group they either look good or look safe or look like they're a part of the crowd, when in fact the bullying harassment can actually in the end end up alienating them. Between the stages of safety, love, and esteem, human beings, especially young adults, face challenges of being accepted or rejected. So they can be rejected out of a group, or they can be feeling the sense of being rejected, which is one of our greatest fears. So one of the greatest fears of a human being, whether it be an adult or a child, is being rejected. And as we all know or have experienced, kids can be really, really mean, and especially as teenagers, in particular with each other, they say horribly mean things to each other. Most kids fit into packs pretty seamlessly, and there's little trepidation. However, there have been traditional battles to fit in for kids that are considered somewhat different, whether too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny. There's all sorts of different things that have been teased or made fun of, and we know from history and experience that some of those differences are definitely stereotypical. So it's about race, color, religion. Those are other areas that are far more sensitive, but certainly areas where bullying takes place. Kevin's anti-bullying model, based on educating bullies why they behave the way they behave and how it stunts their personal growth as human beings, and also the root cause for racism and bigotry. Those that are bullied or victims of bullying, so I don't want to call them victims, must also be educated to realize that they're being singled out as a part of an ongoing process of evolution, and it has little to do with them personally. In addition to educating, there's a sense of empathy that's developed, which helps empower them to embrace their differences from the pack. So when you look at the model of anti-bullying that McCrudden has established, when we take a look at the bully, what is happening is the bully is being educated as to why they tend to bully, why they lash out, why they strike out at victims to try and make themselves either somehow feel better or position themselves better within a pack or within a group. In the meantime, those that are being bullied are empowered through education as well as developing a sense of empathy, because now they understand that it's not them, it's really the bully that has the issue. In his book, You, Who Are You?, Kevin also addresses the fundamental discussion of nature versus nurture. This has been an ongoing discussion for generations. However, in this case, he discusses how nature or a child's environment may also contribute to bullying. Kevin has developed an assembly program for students and teachers during the day and an additional assembly for parents and students the same evening. Once again, we all know that once a child leaves the school, they're back home in their home environment. And for many students, their home environment is an environment where they're learning either bigotry, racism, abusive language. Maybe they're being abused verbally. So what they do is they transform, or they take that information and they take aim on people that they think are either less than them or targets so that they can somehow feel better. Because once again, if they're victims of being bullied within their household or being verbally abused, then they may end up taking that language and forcing it on another person because they want to somehow feel more powerful or feel stronger than somebody else. So their environment, their nurture, may very well be contributing to this issue of bullying. And this is why McCrudden's established an assembly program not only for students and teachers during the day, but it provides an opportunity for teachers to potentially work with administration to single out some children and parents that potentially have an issue, whether being bullied or being bullies, and have them come to an evening session where McCrudden can address his anti-bullying model as well as nature versus nurture and his 21st century multidimensional hierarchy of needs. Kevin's assembly programs are offered at high schools all across America for students, teachers, and parents. Kevin's focus is not to bully the bullies into submission, but rather educate through one of the most fundamentally sound studies of human behavior in history. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is just a matter of timing that Kevin's published You, Who Are You?, where he introduces the most significant addition to Maslow's hierarchy of needs in 60 years. If you'd like more information about Kevin's anti-bullying programs, please email Kevin McCrudden at motivateamerica3@gmail.com. If you'd like to know more about Kevin and purchase his electronic copy of You, Who Are You?, you can go to their website at www.motivateamerica.us. We look forward to seeing you and getting you information regarding this anti-bullying program to help eliminate bullying in schools across America. Thank you for joining us.